wants like a typical like blonde hair, blue eye girl, petite. You know what I mean? I was like, ooh, that's
okay,
not
so that brings me to another good point, okay,
Okay.
which I was gonna say later, but I'll say now. Okay, is you just gotta be yourself.
Okay.
Right?
Hi, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ida. This is my lovely husband, Nathan. We are here. Why that look, sir?
I don't know. I've never been called lovely, I don't feel like,
But you are my lovely husband.
Okay,
You're sweet. Anyway, so we're here again with another video, and this video I have asked Nathan to give his points because he's a true Southern guy. I think you are, at least. I don't know. I think you're very Southern, but Southern guy, and how to score a beautiful African queen like me.
All right, so this was a tough one. When she told me about this, I was like, oh, it's kind of tough because it's not like I've dated like tons of African women. I've only dated one. Okay, so I found one and I knocked her down. But
that's right. Once you go black, I'm just kidding.
Oh, God. But anyway, one thing we talked about before this video though was that a lot of people date like online now, and we didn't do that.
Yes.
And it's not like we were against it, but we just happened to be in the same proximity, right? So we were in college classes together, and then that's when we met.
I think that one thing that made it a little bit easier for you was the fact that you thought I was a lesbian. So I guess you were not,
it's almost like
you were yourself because you were not.
It's almost like a cheat code, right? Yeah. So, and I think that goes for almost, I mean, dating any race, any girl, right? If you're just a little bit
More relaxed.
more
maybe?
relaxed, right? Yeah, you're not like, I guess I don't know if that's
but
good
then
advice
it's not
to give
fair.
someone.
It's not fair to me because I wasn't relaxed and you were relaxed.
Yeah, I just thought.
So I'm thinking.
Hanging out with a friend.
I know, and I'm thinking, he's hot, and I like him. So
yeah, that didn't go. I mean, that was a little different. But that story is a different video.
Yes.
Altogether.
But now we're talking about your perspective.
Okay. Yeah.
So that did.
And so either way, whether you're dating online or if you're in person, I think my tips
still stands.
Still stand. Okay.
Yeah.
And they are what I got, and this is the best I can do. Okay. So number one, just because you are a different race from someone, whether you're trying to date an African girl or whatever, okay, I think it's just don't assume. You got to be willing to try if you want to have any luck, right? Don't assume because she's African she would never date a white guy.
That's
okay?
right.
Or she doesn't want a Southern guy in particular. But just because she's from a certain country, Ghana, or a certain tribe, she doesn't, like, you may think, oh, she's, once you get to know African women, like Ida's from the Ga tribe, well, maybe her family would love for her to be with a Ga man or something.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's not a standard. Maybe that is her thing. Maybe that will shut you down, but you don't know until you go talk to them and see, like, maybe she's open to whatever.
And I know for me in the beginning, I had that assumption too. I was like, oh, he's definitely not gonna like me. I'm not gonna like it, to be honest. I feel like my butt was too big to be with you. I really thought that. I was like, oh, like I'm a little too like.
I just can't imagine some girl like, my butt is too big.
I really thought so. I was like, oh, maybe it's a little. Maybe I thought it was a little too much. Like, just my physical being was a little too much or something. Because I was like, well, you know, he probably wants like a typical like blonde hair, blue eye girl, petite. You know what I mean? I was like, ooh, that's not. So
that brings me to another good point. Okay, which I was gonna say later, but I'll say now. Okay, is you just gotta be yourself, right? So if you're feeling like, oh, I'm too much, right? Or if I'm feeling like, oh, I'm too country or too I don't know, too this or that, okay, you can't change yourself to be that, right? If Ida was like, oh, she starts acting like she likes the rodeo or something, and she might, maybe, no, I don't even really care for the rodeo, right? Even though I grew up in the South, like, that's something cool or whatever, but those things are gonna come out. So if you start your relationship acting like trying to bend yourself to what you think the other race is gonna want, I don't think that's gonna work.
That's right.
Right? You got to go in and just give yourself, and hope the other person receives it. And I think if it comes off more genuine that way, you have more luck.
That's right. That's very true.
All right. So next one is, in my experience, okay, African women tend to be very motivating. Okay. Yeah. So I've only dated one, but Ida has a lot of friends who are African, okay, and a lot of them are very, very ambitious and motivated because I don't know if it's, it's very cultural, right? It's kind of instilled from your families,
That's
like
right.
you need to be going to medical school, or if you're not going to medical school, you need to be hustling and getting, starting a business or something.
Yeah.
It's like always something going on.
Always. I agree, yeah.
So when I say you don't want to change yourself, but you do want to present the best version of yourself, right? And I would say you want to make sure your own house is in order before you, try to get with an African girl. Like,
I don't know why, but when I hear your house in order, it's like, make sure your house is clean. That's how, I don't know why, I just keep thinking that.
That's not the best way of saying it, but I'm just saying make sure that you have some ambitions too, and then like you're trying to go somewhere.
Yeah.
I think if you go after an African girl and you have no job and you're not trying to go to school, or you're not trying to, provide or
I guess better your life in a
yeah,
way.
you're not trying to climb up in some way, like I don't think they're gonna find that very attractive.
That's true. I definitely agree, and I'm not sure why. In a way, it kind of comes off a little, I guess, gold digger-ish in a way, but I don't think like we're like it necessarily mean you're a gold digger. We just want you to have a goal towards life and be actively working towards it, as opposed to just like being a bum.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
When I met Ida, we were going to school and I was going to be a teacher, so it's not like... but at least you know, like, hey, I'm trying to do something.
Yes, that's right. That's right. But you had a lot of different... I feel like you had a lot... You had like a goal in your working towards it, and I was attracted to that. You know what I mean? Like, you were not just like, oh, I'm going to be done with school and not do anything. Like, you had like a plan, like, I'm going to go this, I'm going to do this next and do this next, and I like that about you. Like, I was very attracted to that ambition part. So yeah. So yes, you did hit that part.
My next one is you just have to be open to different cultures, different whatever it is. Okay, so in Africa, Ida's from the Ga tribe, okay, from Ghana, but even within Ghana, there are different tribes.
That's right.
Right? So to say in general, how do you get an African girl? Well, across the whole continent, there's all these different countries with all these different groups of people within those, and they are different from one to the other, right? So the Ga people are not 100% like the tree people, even in the same country, right?
Yeah.
Like, so Ida eats kenkey, she eats other foods too, but...
Why are you putting me out there?
Sorry, you're my only
Ida
reference. You're my reference point. Okay, but, so there's going to be a lot of differences, right? But you have to really be open to understand what are the differences. And it's easy to start with something like food, right?
Yeah.
So if Ida is cooking food, I've always been very open to, like, I'll try it once, right? And I go into it openly. And then even if I don't like it, right? So I grew up not eating fish in my house at all.
At all.
Nothing, no fish in our house. So I just cooking whole fish, and to me sometimes I'm like, not a big fan, right?
But you tried it.
I would try it, and then also even if I don't like it, I'm not gonna be negative about it.
Yeah.
Right? So if we're on our second or third date, and I'm being negative, like, oh, this is gross, I hate this smell, like, ugh. Then she's gonna think in her mind, like, I don't want to be around this guy.
Yeah.
This is not something I want to do for the rest of my life.
So I know that, like, I'm not sure what date that was, but I invited you over, and I made Nathan a whole kenkey and fish and shito, like the whole shebang, like the wool in Ghana, which I will post a picture here so you see what I'm talking about. But Nathan, which I didn't know this, but Nathan sat down and ate the whole ball of kenkey. And did you eat the whole fish?
Ate it all, yeah.
Not the head, but he ate the whole fish, which I had baked. It was tilapia. And then he went home and had like a whole stomach issue. I didn't even know.
I was very sick.
But I didn't know.
I think more than anything, kenkey is so
dense,
and it's just like I kept pulling off and be like, why didn't this ball go anywhere? It was just like you eat some.
It never ends.
And then I just remember being like full, like I'd never been full in my whole life. And just like I gotta like sit up straight, but then when I get home, I'm just like, oh, it hurts. It's so full.
Yeah, I mean, I don't go to that extreme. I don't think.
Yeah, maybe that's not good advice.
But I guess your whole point is that just be open, because he was open, and I mean, from my perspective, he ate it, and I thought he was fine.
Yeah, I think I probably could have that day eaten some of it and been like, hey,
it's good.
This is okay. I don't want to eat the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I could have got away with that as long as I've been a little bit more honest. But food is an easy one, right? Cultural differences, between an American in general and an African, like food is probably something that it's not that hard a hurdle to get over. I mean, it is kind of a daily thing, but we can, if you are, if you can, if you're open, you can work it out, right? But there's other cultural issues that I think you have to really think about, like, why is this person think differently about this, and it's okay that they do, right? So like we have different opinions. We talk differently about death. Right?
That's
Just
right.
an example we talked about before. Like, I don't know. Growing up, I didn't mind joking about it, like, and not like in a real serious way, but like joking about death didn't seem like that big a deal. But if I joke about death with Ida, it's like taboo.
Yes.
Right, and I remember that kind of thing, like little things like that would. At first I'd be like, why didn't she get it? Like maybe eventually it'd be okay for me to joke about death, right? But then after a while you realize, like, oh, this is a person that grew up with different views and beliefs, cultures, and it's like it's okay that they don't joke about death and just leave it, like some stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sure, and that's kind of a weird example. It's just the one that came to mind. There's a lot of things like that we just. And then I think once you talk to that person and understand more why they think this way, it makes more sense.
Yeah. So,
I mean,
whenever like us, I guess as we're going on dates, did you feel? Was it any different? You think from like going on like dates with like other?
So in the beginning, I remember it felt weird.
How?
We just go at it like when people are looking at us.
Oh, so you were not used to that?
Yeah.
I'm guessing, okay.
I don't even feel that anymore, but I know I see it some. Like if I think about it, like, oh yeah, some people are looking at us or something. But I think that's
looking, it's staring.
Staring, but I do feel like that's getting like it's becoming less and
more
less
normal now to see interracial couples, which is good.
It's good.
Yeah.
That it kind of depends on where we go out, right? Which space we're in. I think it can feel kind of weird if we go to a situation where Ida's the only black person, or if I'm the only white person.
Yeah.
You can kind of feel lonely in those situations.
Usually, I'm the only black person.
That is
usually.
True. Well, because we're here in America, right?
Yeah.
When we go to Ghana, I mean,
it's different. Yeah.
I'm the only white person for miles. Like it feels like.
But you know what's strange? Even till now, whenever like I go to a place that's I'm the only black person with you. So being married to you, I don't see you as a white person. I just see you as my husband. Like I don't see the color. Sometimes it's strange. I'm like, wow, like you are white and I am black, and we are married and we are in love. We got kids, we got family. It's like it's strange for me to even think about that. But it doesn't always like hit me. But whenever we go out, like all of a sudden, like it just, I guess in a way I feel kind of special. Like wow, like I'm different. But I feel like, what was it I'm looking for? Like not very safe. Also in a way, because I just don't know like what people are like thinking about me and about us. Because I feel like once you're with me, now I feel like I don't know if they see you as like you have, like you're not black, but like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, now you're one of them type thing. So it makes me feel a little bit kind of awkward whenever we go on dates in the beginning.
Oh, like
I felt like that. Not anymore, but I think it took me a while to kind of get over that and be like, okay, well, whatever, you get over it. But yeah, not anymore though. I had to make that clear. Not anymore.
I felt more awkward when we lived in New Hampshire, because in New Hampshire it was like 96% white people or something. It's just a ton of white people.
Yeah.
And people would stare at us then. Like in Texas, people like it's so multicultural.
Yeah.
It's not that big a deal. But in New Hampshire, man, people would stare at us like, and I don't even know if it was rude. I don't think they were necessarily negative. Lots of people came up and gave you nice compliments. Yeah. But they would, it's like they'd never seen an interracial couple before, and they would just like, you would have to stare back at them to get them to stop looking at you.
Yeah. But I feel like right now, it's so strange. Like I'll text Nathan like, hey, I just saw an interracial couple. Like I'll be out like at Starbucks or like driving somewhere and I see interracial couple like holding hands. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I see interracial couple and they're holding hands. Like whenever I see like a white guy and a black girl, I don't know why, it just makes my whole day. It makes my whole day, and I get so excited. I'm like, yes, rooting for them. So I guess my whole point is, if you are, any race at all, and you know, you want to go get you like a nice fine African woman, because African, I feel like, is, you know, when you have your nice fine African queen, don't be afraid, just go for it. You know, you just never know. Like Nathan said, you have to literally like be open, go for it, and you just never know where it's gonna take you. Next thing you know, you're gonna have 2 kids, be married, have a family, and big old house.
Let's not jump straight there, but yeah, something like that.
You might have to jump through a few hurdles, but you'll get there,
Yeah.
hopefully. Anyway, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.